Earlier this year, Disney put out a massive sci-fi movie full of original ideas, and it completely bombed at the box office. Here's the story of Tomorrowland. Brad Bird has always made gorgeous films. The Iron Giant and The Incredibles are two great examples of filmmaking, using big, blockbuster ideas to examine tough concepts like witch hunting, war and responsibility of those in power, and mixing those in with real characters and emotion. His live-action work has also shown him as capable and confident, if Mission Impossible wasn't exactly a showcase for the depth of his ideas. Tomorrowland provides an interesting insight into his work as a creative, even if it's a mixed bag overall. Tomorrowland follows a young woman, Britt Robertson, as she discovers a mysterious pin that gives her a glimpse of a futuristic city known as Tomorrowland. Desperate to find out more, she ends up on a quest involving space travel, robots and apocalyptic visions, and a former boy genius who visited the city, George Clooney. If that sounds a bit vague, it's because the film is in many respects. It has dual protagonists, and it spends a lot of its runtime zipping back and forward between different time periods. The film was also heavily cut, which is astounding considering that it's almost 2.5 hours long anyway. This is the reason why you can hear Judy Greer in a tiny voice-only role right at the start of the film. She was cut. Boom. Bye, Judy. It's a testament to Bird's skill as a director that this movement isn't confusing, and that while finer plot details get lost, the characters continue to feel vibrant and real. I mean, they aren't particularly deep, so you probably won't get attached or anything, but they have unique voices and they have real backstories and histories that are also quite ably performed because Robertson and Clooney are good actors. Hugh Laurie's character is probably the major exception. While his performance is quite good, his motivations and agenda seem to change wildly from scene to scene, which makes the finale feel quite detached. If it sounds like I have a lot of reservations, it's because I really want to give this film a proper hearing. The thing is that it's full of stuff that I really like, and I feel like I have to be extra stringent in those cases. The movie's a love letter to scientific optimism, 60s futurist architecture, and the spirit of invention. Brad Bird's direction betrays his background in animation. You can see it in all of these beautifully considered, motivated camera moves, and the attention to detail in the setting as well. That's the kind of thing that can only come from spending years planning every shot meticulously. Two sequences in particular are stunning. The glimpse of the park that Katie gets from touching the pin is a nearly 2-minute long uninterrupted shot, and it's just breathtaking, especially in a blockbuster movie of this size. The sequence where she actually retrieves the pin for the first time, which played really heavily in the marketing, blew me away. Bird never lets an image, idea or setting get away without being developed, explored and played with, and that extends from the story right down to set dressing. Thematically, Tomorrowland explores the idea of scientific optimism and our cultural shift away from utopian to dystopian science fiction. This is actually a plot point and looms pretty large in the film's final third. In this sense, it's actually a weirdly good comparison piece for Interstellar, ignoring that the double bill would take about 6 hours. Both of them make passionate, strong cases for the sort of scientific frontier spirit that's present in the American cultural psyche, but they come at it from different angles. For Interstellar, it's about looking at hard science through a lens of grand human action and family drama. Tomorrowland is instead the theme park version of this. Science isn't real, it's magical, and our shunning of our original optimism around that has partially led to our own demise. This combines with an inherent elitism in Tomorrowland itself, embodied through Laurie's character, to look at questions of objectivism. And in the end, what Tomorrowland is really asking is, what are special people to do with their power? You might recognise that as being pretty much the same question that motivates The Incredibles. And, like that film, the answer here is very positive. Tomorrowland isn't as artful as Interstellar or The Incredibles. The moral is whacked over your head over and over again, and when the ending rolls round, you aren't invested in the stakes or the baddie. But this is a movie where you come for ideas and spectacle, and this film has both in abundance, which is something we're unfortunately missing with the lack of original sci-fi around currently. So when you see Star Wars this Christmas with its intergalactic wars, religiously motivated atrocities and genocides, consider coming home to Tomorrowland for a glimpse of a brighter, more optimistic future.